well, maybe not first time this season, but you got some extended minutes with Andray in there. What was that like?
It was good, you know. It was a lot of fun, you know. It was just good to really finally be out there and try everything out, you know. I know I personally wondered what was going to be like a lot, you know, what's going to work, what we're going to have to work at, you know. So it's going to be finally out there and testing.
Is it something you want to see more of moving forward?
You know, I think it'd be interesting, definitely. You know, no question. It's fun out there with Andray, and he definitely makes the game easier for me.
PJ was saying that when he took you out in the second quarter, he actually went up to you and asked you if you wanted to go back in, but Andray was having a hot hand.
I can't argue with that, man. Yeah. You see Andray playing out there like that, I want him to play the entire game, man.
What did you see on that dunk when you jumped over your
you know, Deal made a good pass, and you know, I haven't seen a replay of it yet. That's a problem. I need to see a replay, and then I'll get back to you.
Is there trash talking when you dunk on your brother? Is that something that's happened before?
We don't talk to each other during games, but he dunked on me when rookie year, so this was getting bad. I think it was worse.
I think you gave him you held his hand down with your left elbow anyway, so
they could have called it. Got away with it.
I think there was a play just a little while before the dunk where he got fouled and on the floor and moved right over him. You didn't lend him a hand.
No.
His brother stuck us off for this?
I mean, I don't think I would have helped up any opposing player, you know, so it's just the way the game goes, you know?
That dunk itself, like obviously the play in your mind is just happening as it goes about, but when you dunk over your brother, is there anything that says in your mind like, hey, I just dunked over my brother out there?
Oh, definitely, you know. And I think I might get him for a little bit tonight, you know. I don't think he'd want to put up with me, though, so I know my friends are going to text me about it, though.
What are some of the benefits of being out there with Andray? I mean, is there more space? Because that was the idea.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. You know, we can definitely space the floor more. It opens things up a lot. And, you know, he has such a high basketball IQ, you know, he can do so much, especially offensively. It just, like I said, makes the game easier for everyone out there with him.
What about step up? That's gonna be easy throwing for Brook. The dunk, then it's gonna be easy throwing for me. So we're gonna put like a lot of big men in tough situations.
Dre, how big is this for the 4-day layoff? And how big is the 4-day layoff?
Oh, this was huge. We talked about coming out and getting this win because we leave for 2 weeks and we wanted to take care of home.
Obviously, you guys have been talking a lot about playing you and Brook together. Was it everything we thought it would be?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, little tweaks we did to work out with defense. But other than that, yes, we kept the lead. We lead up some more on defense and the win. Spacing, definitely spacing, and definitely going for a transition too. Get out and go.
There's been a lot of games like this where Brook will get going, and then you get in there and you get going, but at the same time you haven't been in there in the same game against somebody who's sitting on the bench. So is this an opportunity for for more playing time? I guess for you, is that how you look at it?
No, it depends, man. I don't know. I never know people that up his sleeves. Who knows? When we play on Sunday, who knows? They can be different. So I'm not sure. I'm just happy we got that one.
Not want to dunk.
2 points, 2 points, man.
How much does it help having Ray and Brook on the floor at the same time? Does it open? It seems like they spread the floor, and you were able to take the ball to the rim.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes a big difference, having those two guys out there. Two guys where, the whole team has to pay attention to where they are at all times, and we can also throw it down to either one of them on the block and let them go to work. Especially when they're shooting the ball the way they are, they're really hard to guard.
Does it also make it open it up for you a little bit too?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it opens up for everybody.
Okay.
We have a different, pick and roll game when those two are out there at the same time. Like I said, when you have to pay attention to those guys, the other guys free up.
Now that you can push off, how does it change your approach?
Just can play basketball.
Deron, in the fourth quarter, Vasquez missed the three, and you went right back down and attacked. It just seemed like you knew that was going to be the turning point. It really turned out to be the turning point. Can you sense it when the game's about to turn?
Well, I mean, we were really successful today when we attacked the transition. We were able to get stops, get out in transition, we had an advantage. You know, I don't know how many fast break points we had, but you know, our flow, our rhythm was good today in transition.
You talked about wanting to cut down the turnovers. I think you picked up 26.
I'm not talking about it.
How much did you guys?
I just don't want to talk about it.
What was the big
jinx? I get jinxed, man, easy. Last time we talked about it was
I got you. What was the big difference in the fourth quarter as you pulled away?
I think we did a better job defensively was the main thing. I think the second and third quarter, you know, they had 29 points in the second, and I think over 30 exactly in the third. So that's just way too many points to give up. In the fourth quarter, I don't know what they had, but I know they had less than that, and I thought we did a much better job on them defensively.
Are you more comfortable with the game plan? I mean, PJ was saying you're calling all your plays now.
Well, I try to tell PJ, you know, at times, you know, he starts calling a lot of plays, and it kind of, you know, we have to all turn and look. You know, it slows down the game, and we, you know, slows down our rhythm, and we don't, you know, flow as well. And so, you know, guys get out of rhythm. So I just try to tell them, you know, I had no problem with him calling plays, but at times, you know, when we get it, just let us push it, and you know, I know how to spread the ball and get everybody involved.
How big was it to come back tonight after last night's game?
It was huge. You know, last night was a tough loss. We, you know, could have had five out of 5. We dropped the one last night, but it was good that we bounced back and got the one tonight.
And now you have a game at home against Atlanta on Sunday after that long road trip. How important is that game?
It's big. You know, it's big, especially how we beat them in their building. You know, they're going to be ready to play and ready to go against us this next game. So we got to get that one to give us some confidence going on this long road trip.
Are you calling all your plays out there? Or how many
No, not all of them. No, I mean, me and PJ still talking. You know, when he calls a play, I run it. But I'm just saying, like, when we get a rebound, we get a stop. You know, those type of plays, we're just going instead of you know, looking to the sideline.
With Joe being out, how big was that production from Wallace and especially from Marshawn tonight?
Huge. Our bench was huge for us tonight. You know, they came out and played well on both ends of the floor. And, you know, Gerald did a good job of attacking and being aggressive on the offensive end. You know, which I've been trying to tell him to do all season. And you know, we need him to be, you know, looking to score, you know, a lot more. Marshawn came off the bench and you know, get some big baskets for us.
I'll just ask this question a little differently. I mean, how much better are you guys when you take care of the ball and let it down?
We're a lot better. You know, we're a lot better. We take care of the ball. You know, other teams can get out in transition on us. They can't get easy baskets. You know, it's kind of deflating when, you know, you're just throwing the ball all over the court and teams are getting layups. So, you know, we're taking care of the ball. You know, we're a lot better team.
Deron, you mentioned Andray and Brooks' offense earlier, but you said the fourth quarter defense helped pull away. What was effective about them as a pair in that context in that game?
I mean, you know, there's 2 7-footers out there at the same time. You know, essentially, Andray 6'11". You know, it's pretty close, and you know they're long. They take up a lot of space inside. They alter shots. They block shots, and you know, it makes teams think about it when they come in the lane.
What do you think about Brooks' dunk over Robin?
All right, guys.
Thanks.
More aggressive driving to the hoop, or is that just how it turned out tonight?
I'm trying. My thing is to be more aggressive, try to help the team out scoring more. My shot isn't falling right now, so the best thing I can do is try to attack the rim and, you know, make down free throws, try to build some confidence offensively.
How important was it to bounce back after last night's game where you did
It was very important because we felt like we gave that game away last night. We didn't come prepared. We gave them confidence in the first half, and they took advantage of it. And you know, we easily could have won 4 out of 5 games, and you know, been sitting pretty good here with Atlanta coming in before we go on a road trip. But you know, we kind of gave that game away, so this was a must-win for us.
Last night you didn't play in the fourth quarter, and tonight Reggie didn't. Is it important for the team just to understand as you push for the playoffs, you have to understand that different rotations are going to happen and different opponents require different?
I mean, this is the NBA. You know, matchups is matchups. You know, depending on how the matchup is going. You know, the rotation is going to be different. I think, you know, as good of a rebounder Reggie is, they got 2 7-footers out there with Davis and Lopez. So I think coach decided to go bigger, kind of match up with him on the boards, and then he brought Blatche in for Reggie.
Gerald, what did that do when Blatche and Brook were both in the game in the same fourth quarter and you were out there? What did that do for you guys as a team, spacing-wise or just offensively, defensively?
Well, I mean, you know, it's two almost 7-footers, so, you know, it opens up the court a lot more. The paint is protected a whole lot more, so you have bigger wingspan, and, you know, those guys are both threats offensively on the block, so you can post either guy. And both guys have to be respected offensively.
How much of a difference did Blatche's basket make at the end of the third quarter, giving you the lead after you'd lost the 9-point lead?
I don't know if it was that much of a difference, but you know, it's kind of some positive energy after, you know, them going on a run in the last minute and a half to kind of tie the game up. And you know, us just to get that lead going into the fourth quarter gave us some kind of positive thinking.
You guys got like a mini All-Star break here with 4 days off. How much help is that going to be for resting and stuff like that?
It's pretty good with this 14-day road trip coming up. You know. I guess this is their way of telling us enjoy your bed while you can.
What do you think you guys doing right now, 2 games behind the Knicks out of first place?
Man, we're just trying to win. We ain't really thinking about that right now. Our main focus is winning games, and we know this road trip is coming up. We got to get through this road trip. Once we get through this road trip, however it comes out, then we can look at where we're at in the standings and you know how far we are behind the Knicks. But right now, it's all in house. We got to take care of ourselves. This is a tough road trip coming up against some pretty tough teams that play pretty well at home. So we got to take care of that, and then we'll see where we stand when we come off this road trip.
How important was Marshon's play off the bench, given the fact that Joe wasn't starting?
It's good because, you know, a lot of guys got to pick up for Joe. He does so much and demands so much for us offensively on the court that, you know, guys got to come in and pick up for him when he's out. And I think Marshon did a great job of coming in and fulfilling that role.
Last night you were sitting at your locker in Philly. I mean, you were doing a lot of thinking, I guess, you know, after we left. I mean, how do you feel like this game is a game that can get you jump-started?
I hope so. I don't have to beat myself up tonight, so that'll help. But you know, hopefully this is the start. You know, I was able to get to the rim a lot more. I was able to get to the free throw line, make some free throws. So, you know, just seeing the ball going into the basket and you know, my momentum getting me to the rim is kind of a positive thing for me.
Is Eric Gordon the smallest guy you've guarded this year, or have you done?
No, I guarded. I don't know who's the smallest. Him or what's it? Brandon Knight, the guy from Detroit.
Probably about 6'2".
I mean, Knight's skinnier. So.
Whichever one is the fastest, I usually get on the opposing team.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Joe. Coach, Reggie got into some foul trouble late in the third, and we saw Dre and Brook on the floor at the same time. What were some of the positives you saw, and will you do more of that if the matchups present themselves later?
Yes, we were going to do it anyhow. We were going to, you know, I was going to put Dre in for the first big sub instead of Mears, just to because we were having trouble with Davis. He's so long, so we were going to try it anyhow. We were going to wait and see how the game went, but what actually paused it a little bit was when he got the blood thing and he was out. But yeah, we wanted to look at we wanted to look at it. B, he's so long. I mean, he shoots over people. He's shooting over our 7-footers, much less smaller guys. So yeah, I thought it was good. I thought their interaction has always been good. They both can pass the ball decently, and I think they did a little bit of everything. They scored, they rebounded, and they had some assists. So you know, Dre did. I don't know, did Brook get some assists? I thought they moved the ball. I got to talk to the school. Did he make that free? We'll take a look at it. He made it.
Also, Marshon off the bench, his first double-digit game since February 1st, and Gerald too went into double digits too since early February.
Gerald played really well, played aggressively. He had big rebounds for us, and again he made Eric work. Eric got 24, but he makes him work. That's all you're going to do. You know, with Gerald guards you're going to have to work for your points. A lot of guys played well. 4 and 5 is very, very difficult. I mean, we're still mowing and we let them get away, but I mean, obviously, if you go back to 5 games, go back 5 games from where we were at to where we are now, 5 games, we've certainly made progress, which is really encouraging. I thought Marshon played well. He had 1 or 2 little defensive blips. He was doing well, and then he went under on 1 when he should have went over, and the guy got a 3. But for the most part, he played much better defense. I think he's improving defensively, and he got a chance to play.
Well, it's kind of a running theme at this point, but how nice is it to have Deron playing the level he is and consistently like this every night?
You know, I mean, he's just 21 and 13 and 2 turnovers and big baskets, and you know, he's getting whacked pretty good. We just, I mean, we didn't shoot threes well, but we couldn't make layups or free throws tonight for most of them. I mean, the numbers were all right. I don't know what we shot in the paint, but I mean, we missed 27 for 46, actually better than I thought it was. But we missed so many, literally layups, and Conversely, we didn't keep them out of the paint. They were making theirs. They just kept coming at us and scoring inside. Finally, in the second, we had that one good run in the second half that opened the game up, and that, that allowed it. Because we really didn't defend all that well. We had the one good run that helped, allowed us to open it up.
PJ, how much do you guys think this bounce back win after having not been filled?
Really, I mean, I keep saying we're day to day. I mean, it's not that we're not that good or that fragile, but I mean, everybody in the league, everybody in the league is the same way. You see New York last night, you see Boston tonight. I mean, it's hard. You got to come and you got to perform every night. We disappointed ourselves last night. I mean, Greedy's saying we wanted to get 5 in a row, but we put ourselves in position to close out at 4 and 5, which would have really been good. But had we found a way to win last night, then today would have been the one. Would have been really hard for us to, maintain the energy and do it. But I like where we're at. But I mean, it's literally, we're going to see a totally different Atlanta game, I'm sure. I'm afraid Sunday night than we saw down in Atlanta, and then obviously that just starts the whole, the merry-go-round and the rest of the trip. But the 4 days, the 4 days are really big, not just for Joe. They're big for all our guys. Taking time off, we'll come back and we'll shoot and lift on Thursday, and then we'll take Friday off also, and try and get some legs and some health back, and maybe a little less sore. And again, the one thing I've said, to you guys and Sarah, repeatedly, the way the trip is spaced is the only good thing about it. I mean, we have some time. We can take some days off on the trip, and we can practice on the trip. And we get some weird spacing on that trip, which is good. So hopefully that'll help us.
Speaking of spacing, in the fourth quarter with Dre and Brook out there, is that something you may do a little bit more in the fourth quarter to help kind of just close games out and make teams play you guys a little more straight up?
I haven't thought about it necessarily more so in the fourth quarter. It's just something we wanted to look at, and if the matchup will allow us to, yes, we'll do it. Again, at half, I didn't get Brook back in the second quarter after he had a borderline monster first quarter, because Dre had a monster second quarter, and Brook was fine. He came over at the, usually I would put him back about 4 or 5, and every time I was ready to put Brook in, Dre would score. So I said, let it go, and then it got to the 3-minute timeout, and he had just scored again, and Brook said, fine, let him go. Their numbers, there's been a lot of nights, not every night, but there's been a lot of nights when their numbers together were so good that it's just something that if matchup allows us to, we want to do. And I keep saying, if we make the playoffs, there are a couple teams in the playoffs that very much lend itself to us playing big against them. So.
With Deron, we talk a lot about his, his health and how much more explosive he looks, but also he seems like he's managing the game a little bit better. Maybe he's more comfortable.
I just think he's got pretty close to free reign. We're not calling a lot of play. Called more tonight because it was C, and CJ had the ball a little bit more at, a decent amount at the point. That's the thing we like about him and CJ, but we do it with Joe and we do it with Gerald. Let them handle the ball a little bit and let Deron, get off the ball sometimes. It's good for him because he's very good coming off screens and, doing other things, and maybe saves him a little bit. But I just think that he's in a good place right now, physically, emotionally. The way he's managing the game very, very well. And he's also, I think, being a lot more vocal at practices, at timeouts, before the game, after the game, and that's a good thing.
Okay, thank you. 11:30.